Ecclesiastes chapter 7. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. Better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will take it to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by a sad countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For like the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression destroys a wise man's reason, and a bribe debases the heart. The end of a thing is better than its beginning. The patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Do not hasten in your spirit to be angry, for anger rests in the bosom of fools. Do not say, "Why were the former days better than these?" For you do not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance and profitable to those who see the sun. For wisdom is a defense as money is a defense. But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to those who have it. Consider the work of God, who can make straight what he has made crooked. In the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider. Surely God has appointed the one as well as the other, so that man can find out nothing that will come after him. I have seen everything in my days of vanity. There is a just man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs life in his wickedness. Do not be overly righteous, nor be overly wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Do not be overly wicked, nor be foolish. Why should you die before your time? It is good that you grasp this, and also not remove your hand from the other, for he who fears God will escape them all. Wisdom strengthens the wise more than 10 rulers of the city. For there is not a just man on earth who does good and does not sin. Also, do not take to heart everything people say, lest you hear your servant cursing you. For many times also your own heart has known that even you have cursed others. All this I have proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. And as for that which is far off and exceedingly deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know, to search and seek out wisdom, and the reason of things, to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, whose hands are fetters. He who pleases God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be trapped by her. Here is what I have found, says the preacher, adding one thing to the other to find out the reason, which my soul still seeks, but I cannot find. One man among 1,000 I have found, but a woman among all these I have not found. Truly, this only I have found, that God made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. So dito po sa kabanata, from previous na pagbasa natin sa chapter 6 na medyo boring, parang na siya dito, back to regular programming sa pagsulat niya ng mga at least intense words pa rin or dark words, no? And I find it very interesting din, particular sa chapter na to, kasi yun nga, again, with my own experience, lalo na yung first part, pag dito sa NKJV natin, no, yung verse 1 to verse 4, ganitong klaseng words of wisdom, hindi ko rin talaga siya basta narinig sa secular world o sa mga non-believers or non-professing Christians na philosophers, wise men. So siguro ma-comment ko, maganda from time to time ma-meditate natin tong verses 1 through 4. But ang mas paliwanagan ko po, I think, pag sa unang basa, kahit ako sa experience ko, yung parang mahirap dito, even controversial to the point of parang scandalous, contradicting sa Word of God, or at least morality, Isang thought, twice at least nabanggit 2 verses. Yung verse 16, tas backed up by verse 20. No? Quickly reciting again, yung, do not be overly righteous, nor be overly wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Then, for there is not a just man on earth who does good and does not sin. So, though ang magiging paliwanag ko sa context na natin bilang mga matatagal na namang students of the Word, we know the whole counsel of the Word. So, hindi ko basta siya i-exposit or i-explain to the root, but yung ibig sabihin lang nito, di ba, yung kung isang mabilis na paliwanag din, parang by implication, di ba, wag masyadong mabait daw, parang gano'n, wag masyadong matuwid. Parang implication kahit sa akin sa unang basa ko as a Christian na, does this permit us, God permit us to even sin? Kahit isa lang, o tayo bilang mga tao, no, kung tatawad, baka Panginoon hanggang 10 kasalanan, o baka hanggang 500, 1,000, no. Hindi po. We know from the terms of creation, simula pa sa umpisa, kay Adan at kay Eva, hindi pwedeng magkasala. To be theologically exact, magkasala, hindi pwede pong sumuway, hindi pwedeng baluktutin o mag-deviate sa anumang kautusan o kalooban ng Diyos. At ang Diyos po hindi nagbabago, so yung terms of creation na yon hindi rin nagbago hanggang ngayon. Kaya nga rin po sa ending, meron po talagang hell. Hindi po yun nawala, so hindi pwedeng magkasala talaga kahit po ngayon. And to quickly explain, kaya nga may hell, hindi po siya basta parusa ng Diyos eh. Ang hell po, para makuha nyo ng tama rin theologically in biblical terms, katarungan siya ng Diyos. So, kung may pagsuway na nangyari, may katarungan na kakaharapin. Kung tayo na bilang mga tao dito rin sa mundo natin, humihingi tayo ng katarungan sa anumang katiwalian, krimen, maaring makalusot yung mga kriminal sa katarungan ng lupa, huwag niyo masyadong problemahin yun. Darating sila sa katarungan ng langit at lahat yon ay pagdadaanan nila. Ang tanong lang, ikaw ba hindi nagkasala? Ikaw ba hindi nakasuway? So alam mo yung magiging ending mo rin sa katarungan ng Diyos. At hindi ko na basta ididiin yan ngayon, alam niyo yung kasagutan kung paano makaiwas sa katarungan ng Diyos na iyon. Okay? But exactly explaining this, ang keyword natin dito sa verse 16, yung overly righteous. Ang ibig sabihin po nito at the root is yung inaral na rin natin kanina sa verse point 3 ni Pastor Angie. Contrasting sa gawa ng iba, di ba? Mas particular siya sa mga activities, external activities. Huwag maging self-righteous. Or mas madali na sa term natin, pag pinapaliwanag ng mga theologians, scholars, don't commit pharisaical belief or don't fall under that system. Don't be a Pharisee and like kung na-explain na masyado ni Pastor kanina, marami na akong iuulat. Gusto ko na sanang umupo nga eh. Kasi naturo na naman niya. Pero sayang naman yung na-prepare ko. I-expound ko lang din ng onte. No? So, yun yung pinaka-meaning. Then matatouch nga niya, nabanggit ni Pastor kanina, no? Yung doctrine na parang nireform na lang ng mga Reformed Fathers natin, no? Na there is no activity, kung tema pa ng Ecclesiastes, under the sun, such as secular and sacred activity. Wala pong ganon. Kung pag-uusapan natin, katuwiran before God, walang bastang kinalaman yung aktibidades natin, except one, of course. Sa whole counsel din ng Lord, the act of true faith and true obedience. Then, mas malaking saklaw siguro yung under din natin ng Reformed teaching, yun nga yung Christian liberty. So, kunyari, mag-exposit tayo, yun nga, ang pinag-uusapan kasi dito, actual acts. So may actual acts na parang makakapagpatuwid sa atin sa Diyos. Again, sinaunang words na po ito. Alam na to ng mga sinaunang tao, parang pinalinaw na lang ng mga Reformed Fathers natin. Wala po talagang secular or sacred activities except kung ibabaro ko yung words ng Apostle Paul, no? Anything, any activity does not count. What counts is true faith or true obedience before God na ginagawa natin yung mga bagay-bagay. Kaya condemnable talaga yung ganong turo, being a Pharisee, Phariseeism, to the point na, di ba, magbibigay tayo isang example. Yung parang ngayon, yung mga sect or cult. So, paliwanagan lang ulit natin yung cult, di ba? Ang cult is ang condemnable belief by the Lord. Na to the point, kung talaga naniniwala ka nun sa puso mo, hindi ka maliligtas. Sabihin natin yung Diba, yung mga nagmomonghe under Buddhism, Taoism na ang belief nila, kailangan nila ma-separate sa world para mas maging banal sila sa Panginoon. To the point no, na nakalabas sila, nasa mga bundok, nasa mga templong, nasa malalayong lugar. Then, hindi na sila pwedeng mamingwit, hindi na sila pwedeng umakyat ng puno, hindi na sila pwedeng magpalipad ng saranggola, hindi na sila pwedeng magbisikleta, wala na silang pwedeng gawin para lang masabing matino sila, matuwid sila sa harapan ng Panginoon. To clear that once and for all, no, that is not the way of God. Walang kinalaman basta yung mga aktibidades natin. Well, of course, kung talagang directly sinful naman yung ginagawa natin. Common sense na lang, matatalino naman po kayo, alam kong gets nyo ako doon. So, to remind that, lalo na sa ating mga believers, one exhortation, maghihina-hinay lang po tayo. Mag-pray maigi, mag-discern maigi bago tayo mag-pass ng judgment. Lalo na sa kapwa-kapatid, kung may ginagawa siya na hindi mo ginagawa, o may ginagawa ka naman, o may ginagawa, hindi siya ginagawa mo na nagiging self-righteous ka. Dahan-dahan po tayo dyan. At concluding statements, kung hindi kayo gaanong kumbinsido sa paliwanag namin ni Pastor Ranji ni Pastor Ranji kanina at sa akin ngayon, just mapapayo ko, basahin niyo yung Matthew 23, yung napakahabang woes ni Jesus doon sa mga klase ng taong halos sumpain niya sa banal na galit niya pag pinag-uusapan natin itong doctrine na ito.